So you want to start it or you want me to start it?
You can start it. I started the last one.
Okay. Welcome back to another fucking episode of Podcast The Hero. It's your fucking boyfriend, Greasy Cheese, and the formidable Fortinos. Fucking sorry. I was trying to say Fritzy, but I ended up saying Fortinos, which is actually a grocery chain.
Is it?
In Canada, yeah.
I only know Lawblaws.
Yeah, then everybody hates Lawblaws now.
They do?
For good reason.
Oh, what'd they do?
They're just like hiking our prices like fucking wildly and maybe even tampering with provincial politics. Like, Lawblaws is fucking fucked.
That's like the grocery store chain that's in the same strip mall as Jenny's store is their like owner is like a huge like Trumpy supporter and like QAnoner and everything, but they own this huge. Cool. It's a woman and she owns this huge grocery chain across the South. So yeah.
Oh man, groceries
and politics.
They go hand in hand. They kind of do go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because these fucking huge grocery chains create billionaires, and billionaires fucking control politics.
Yeah, they do. They do. They like money. People like money for the most part.
Fuck everyone.
Oh yeah, no qualifications or anything. Just fuck everyone.
I mean, like billionaires too,
but everyone else too.
Everyone. Fuck the very poor. I mean, they're already fucked.
Because
of billionaires.
There's a great movement in the Republican Party that they're trying to implement what they call a fair tax in the U.S. And it's a just straight across the board, eliminate all income tax, property tax, like everything. Get rid of federal and state taxes. And just have a 23.5% sales tax on everything. And they're like, yeah, that's the most fair way to do it. Because 23.5% to somebody who makes $25,000 a year is the same as 23.5% to the person who makes $23.5 million a year.
And that's some backwards ass bullshit.
Just makes me mad.
The world is coming to an end, right?
Yep.
Like these are end times.
Yeah, we should be embracing it, right? Let's just run into the storm, right?
Well, like the thing is, that's what it seems like conservative politicians all over the world are doing.
Yeah,
they're just going like, it's fucking over. We did it, and you know what? Let's just do whatever the fuck we want to do. Right. What we've wanted to do this entire time. Let's be completely open about it and just fucking do it.
You know, I see a direct correlation with the release of A Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. Depicting exactly what Republicans or conservatives in general want the world to be like is just like a bunch of white dudes controlling everything and pushing like moral positions on people and all this stuff, but then not following those rules themselves and like all that shit. Yeah. And then like at the time it came out, I was like, fuck, there are some people in power that are going to see this and go, finally, somebody knows what we want. This is perfect. Playbook. Let's do it. And then started it. And then just was like, okay, what's the first step, guys? How do we get this? Because this looks great.
That's horrible, Fritzy. I never heard of The Handmaid's Tale until this moment, but sounds good. And I don't know what Hulu is. Is that in relation to Kijiji? Hulu and Kijiji?
I don't know. What's Kijiji?
Is Hulu American Kijiji?
I don't know. What is Kijiji? Is that a thing?
I know it. Yeah, God. It's like a fucking thing where you trade your shit for pennies. You go, I've got this fucking TV for sale. Who wants to Who wants to lowball me?
Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, it's Facebook.
I have a
Anybody want to fucking make me feel like shit today?
So,
Sorry.
in light of who we have coming up on the interview and where that person is employed, right? I'm not going to give anything away about the interview.
I mean, you can.
Real quick.
Yeah, I imagine it would be in the title of the show.
Oh, I guess we could name it that. Okay, so given the fact that HK works at Sheet Happens,
yeah.
Has Luke always been mysterious?
Oh fuck yeah! Oh fuck yeah! Luke is the most mysterious man, and I think it's mostly just because he's like really scared.
That's totally legitimately a good reason.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I know, I agree.
I as a person who suffers from anxiety and anxiety-induced panic attacks and all the stuff that comes along with it, and decades of therapy and medication and whatever. Yeah, there's things scare me a lot, and
things are scary as fuck, man.
It's real weird that the world is the way it is, and we're just expected to, just that's cool, normal, whatever. But I was just curious, like, has he always, like, even in your youth, like when you were kids and you were friends as little kids? Like,
no, I mean,
was he mysterious?
Luke is like, he's fucking the most charismatic individual that you'll ever meet. Like, makes you feel good about yourself. He's a nice guy. But yeah, no, he's got secrets. like Ben, similar to Ben. Yeah. I know Luke's secrets. I don't know Ben's.
I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you to reveal any secrets.
Ask me to do it.
Tell me one secret about Luke.
His thoughts are dark.
his thoughts are farts.
His thoughts are dark. His words are kind. His thoughts are dark.
Okay.
And that's the truth. But no, like, yeah.
I don't want to delve into, like, his
the psyche of Luke.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get into, like, personal shit about him. I just was curious, like, has he always been? Because to me, in my head, he lives, like, on an island in a lair that's shaped like a skull, and there's fire, and, like, only a very select few people from his inner circle ever see him. And although he does Sheet Happens and he writes all this music and everything, what he's really doing is inventing a doomsday device, and we're all fucked. So,
I mean, you're kind of describing his dream.
Okay.
To not only live in solitude, but also end humanity.
Okay, cool.
And I'm being genuine. You know what? I can think of a few things that truly hates outside of just humanity in general. But what we're doing right now, which is discussing him, is the thing that he would hate the most.
Right. Yeah. Which is great, because
that's why I'd like to continue. I'd like to continue.
Like, I feel this is a relatively safe space for that, because I feel like he would never listen to this, but also
that's probably true.
At the same time, like, I also feel like I'm a little scared that if he did listen to it, that my life and the life of my loved ones might be in danger.
You know what? Like, that's true.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not true. He's not going to hurt anyone in his life, but if he did, he'd be very good at it. I'm going to crack a beer.
Do it. What do you got? What do you got? Maybe we could get sponsored by this beer.
You know what? I think Mill Street's a little too big.
Oh.
But I really like like I'm not a huge Mill Street guy. It's a Toronto brewery. It's good. It's definitely good. But it's like big. It's big. We used to drink a shit ton of their stuff, but this one is very interesting. It's called 1 in 12. It's a Phantasm NEIPA. Like, what the fuck is that? Northeast India Pale Ale?
So it's something different than just regular India Pale Ale.
I don't know. But it's here on the can it says roughly 1 in 12 brewers are women. Even fewer are women from BIPOC communities. Scan the code to see how we're taking action to change the brewing industry for the better. So, and it's got a little code on here, and I thought that was fucking awesome.
Good. Now take a sip of it, and whatever
I'm
you
drink
do,
it out of a mason jar that says "Society of Beer Drinking Ladies."
don't ever, whatever you do, even if you hate it, even if it's unpalatable, pretend like it's delicious, and drink it and smile.
It smells like an IPA. I mean, I used to hate craft beers and people who drank craft beers. We went to South Africa just shortly after craft beers had come to South Africa. And Cam and I found out before we went there, we were like, what beer in South Africa is closest to Coors Light? And it was this beer called Castle. And everybody was so excited about craft beers. They were like, oh, you have to try this one. You have to try that one. And we were like, no fucking thank you. A couple Castles. We'll take a couple pints of Castle, please. And everyone was like so bummed on us. It was fucking amazing.
Okay,
but I don't take it back.
Before you taste it, you said it smells like an IPA.
Yeah.
Okay, now stick your finger in it.
For real?
Yes.
Like right down?
Right down in there. Right in there now.
I haven't washed my hands in a while.
I don't care. The alcohol will take care of it. Does it feel like an IPA?
I don't know. I've never stuck my finger in an IPA like this before.
Okay, take your finger out. No,
the first taste of the beer I'm going to have is off my fucking dirty finger?
Yeah. Or just wipe your finger off.
Well, it tastes bad, but that's probably my finger.
Because you have your morning finger. You got night fingers.
It's my day fingers. They're not as dirty as my night fingers, but at least I know where they've been.
Don't drink from that yet. Don't.
Okay.
Take one headphone off. Put your ear to the opening of the cup.
What if something falls out of my ear?
Disgusting, but that would be your own fault.
That happens quite a bit to me.
Yeah. Does it sound like an IPA?
I mean, it actually, there is a sound coming from it. It sounds like frothy and nice.
Okay, now drink it.
Okay. Yeah.
It tastes like an IPA?
It's good. It tastes like an IPA.
Okay. So later, before you go to bed, and you don't have to do this on the podcast.
Yeah.
But when you pee it out, I want you to look in the bowl and tell me, does it look like an IPA? I just want to know. From your experience of all the IPAs you've peed over the years.
I've peed many.
How does this one compare?
It's good. It tastes like I like it. It's a little sweeter than I want to call it sweet. I don't know how to fucking describe flavors. How do you describe flavors? What is sour? Tell me what sour is. Is that sweet?
I think, aren't there 5 flavors? There's sweet, sour, savory.
There's got to be yucky,
salty, and umami.
Umami? Where's bitter? What's umami?
Oh, maybe it is bitter.
What is umami?
Umami is like a savory sweet, I think. It's like the newest flavor that they discovered.
Okay. So I have some corrections.
Oh yeah, we do have corrections from last time.
I don't know. I only had 2. I don't know if you spotted anyone, and if anyone fucking hears any corrections, throw them at me.
Yeah.
Throw them right in my face in any respect you want to. Spit them at me. Don't spit, actually. It's gross. But so someone, I can't remember where I saw this, but I saw this in one of the comment sections. I said something about, you said you can go straight up, and I said through Antarctica.
Yeah.
Turns out Antarctica is
the bottom.
South.
Yeah.
And the Arctic is... Now, you knew that the whole while.
Yeah. I didn't correct you.
No. You're too polite.
I'm terrified. Yeah, you might kill me.
Now, I had another correction come from Tim.
Oh, geez. Oh, I know this one. Okay.
Yeah,
this was on my list.
There's 7 dates for the Australian tour, not 5. I don't know what's going on, so I don't know how this podcast is going to be successful talking about Protest the Hero, because I don't know anything about Protest the Hero.
I told Tim earlier that it's not a mistake. It's just a lie. And lying is fine.
And lying is a big part of this podcast.
Yeah. I did not correct you when you said I was Albanian.
No, that was just a lie. But potentially true.
But Merg is Albanian. Our pal Merg is Albanian. And we realized my background is technically Ottoman Empire, but Yugoslavia, Serbian kind of thing. So Merg and I, had we been living in our native lands in the 90s, probably would have been trying to kill each other. Because all that wonderful stuff in the Balkans. So we discovered that last night. That was interesting.
That's amazing.
I think that's it. Those are the only corrections.
Yeah, I mean, the Albanian thing was just a lie.
Well, it was close. You were very close.
I was thinking about Albie, the badly burned Albanian boy.
Well, Albania is just on top of where I'm from. Like, it's just they're very close.
Yeah.
Very, very.
It was Albie the racist dragon and the very badly burned Albanian boy.
I don't know what you're talking about at all. But it's great.
Flight of the Conchords. It's wonderful.
We'll get to this question a different day.
Sure.
So this is some questions about the PTH process.
All right.
How many books do you have?
What do you mean? Like, how many books do I own personally?
Yeah. Like a lot? Or some? Or none?
I own... most of them are in like 2 or 3 boxes in my furnace room, but I own quite a few books.
Have you read all of them?
Yeah.
You've read every book you own?
I think so. Other than maybe some like really old, obscure Star Trek stuff that I just have as like a sort of mantelpiece.
I don't know if I believe that. That sounds like a lie.
Yeah, it could be. I got a lot on my friggin' iPad too. I read all of Game of Thrones, but here's the fucking bad one. I read all of the Aragon series.
I don't know what that is. Is that like a spin-off from Lord of the Rings?
I mean, yeah, it was this guy basically trying to write his own universe, and I got fucking mad into it. And I'd read all these fucking massive, idiotic dragon books, and I loved them, and I still do.
I've read all the... Somebody did a novelization of the old anime series Robotech.
Okay.
I read all those books.
I'm like way out of my depth when it comes to that shit.
It's the only anime that I've ever loved.
When anybody ever talks about anime, I always just imagine that they're like hugging on one of those big long body pillows with a Japanese schoolgirl drawn on it.
Her name's Kamiko.
Is it fair to discriminate against people that enjoy anime and just consider them all lonely perverts? Is that okay?
Well, I'm doing some introspection. Yes, it's okay.
I thought so. I was worried about that.
Yeah, no, it is okay.
Every single let me just sweep up here so that people don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
Yes.
Every single white male who enjoys anime of any kind owns a body pillow with a person drawn on it, and they are a pervert.
Yes.
Okay, they're a horny little pervert. Horny's okay. Pervert, get out of town.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of perverts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Name 3.
Present company excluded?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Every person in my family.
Fair enough.
That's enough people. They're all perverts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fair.
My dad, he upon meeting my in-laws for the first time in a restaurant, walked up, shook their hand, and then proceeded to explain how the men in my family, although we don't have butts, right? We're not gifted with ass.
Oh, you don't have big butts.
Yeah, no. We it's pretty much just a slight, I don't know. There's not much.
I just assume you guys all were pooping into colostomy bags through a hole in your stomach.
No. We have functioning butts, but without any substantial size.
Okay. Yep. You really need to clarify.
Sorry. Yeah, we were all born without buttholes. We do, however, use our mouths as cloacas.
Unfortunate breeding.
Yes. Fuck. Why, Grandpa? Why did you fuck that bird? What we lacked in the back, we more than made up for in the front.
Oh my!
Was his that's like the first sentence that he spoke to my in-laws upon meeting
so he
them. For the first time ever.
He kicked down their door, walked in, and just went, "I got a big fucking dick."
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, in a crowded restaurant.
Wow.
So,
what kind of restaurant?
Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So, perfect. Yeah. So yes, perverts, all of them. Whole family, perverts.
Oh, I thought you meant Italians. Yeah,
no.
too, though.
We're not Italian.
No, but Italians are all perverts as well.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes, and the French. And the French.
The French. Yeah.
Perverts.
Too easy.
I love perverts. They're just so great.
Now,
so great.
I bet I could think of some perverts that you don't love.
Well, yes.
AKA real perverts.
Yes. Yes. I don't love, like, pedophiles and, like, flashers.
Yeah.
And, sexual assaulters. But I wouldn't consider those people perverts.
They're deviants.
They're deviants. They're also, it's a control, like, it's, I don't know.
Impulse control, lack of impulse control.
Well, and also, no. Like, it's a power thing, right? More than a sex thing, right? Right? Like, a lot of people like to give, like, strippers shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, people are like, oh, she's a stripper? Or like, like...
Oh, people love to shame sex workers. And
I don't. I think sex work is fantastic. Yeah. I think sex, like, I could never do it because shame and, like, not shame of doing it, but the shame of, like, my body and how much I hate myself.
Okay.
Right? But I have so much respect for people who are just like, fuck yeah, take it all off and, like, pay me money for it. Like,
fuck yeah.
Good for them. So, I don't know. This had nothing to do with any of the questions that I had. I asked you about books.
Yeah, I got some books, man. I read a couple.
So
Capcom Shores, baby.
so the reason I ask about books
Yeah.
is because I assume that when you are writing, or I should say, when as Cage is writing lyrics
Yeah,
for
Cage writes all our lyrics.
that it's coming from ideas from books.
Uh, it can.
It's not Wikipedia, is it?
No, fuck no. I don't know. Where does inspiration come from?
Well, like okay, so like the question is like with Plimpy, like
Palimpsest
yes, for people
to
who
you, sir.
Sorry, is Palimpsest.
Mike
Can't say
mispronounces
it.
palimpsest
Can't
every
say
time
it. So Plimpsest.
he says, well, he just says palimpsest. He just emphasizes the wrong syllable.
Oh.
Maybe he's right. Who fucking knows?
Those have some very specific stories,
Yeah.
right? And stories that like I wasn't aware of actually had happened in the world. And so like did those come from books, or were you watching like Unsolved Mysteries, or did you say I have this theme in my head and I'm going to go search for topics?
Sorry. First of all, excuse me for that
No, it
loud
was
and
beautiful.
uncouth burp. It's the very last thing you said.
Okay.
I wrote. I always wanted to write a song about the Molasses Massacre.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's the one, right? That's sort of the one that sort of all of the stuff. Maybe what's the flowers one?
Gardenias.
Gardenias.
Yeah.
Maybe that one too. That like are more obscure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I wrote that one. I wrote All Hands, and I'd always wanted to write that, and then I was kind of sitting there being like this feels like a timepiece, and like how do I make it work within the confines of a concept record? And then I sort of like came up with the idea that it was like this is sort of in like living in that time of like ignorance, like blissful ignorance before the depression, and I wanted to sort of like lead into that and make it end just as the United States became the sort of war machine that it inevitably became, and to sort of just like describe how that sort of came to be. And I defined the timeline in my head, and I looked for significant events. Some of them are like really obvious ones, like the fucking
Hindenburg and
stuff like that. Some of them, like Gardenias, I was listening to a podcast, and learned about that. Actually, Lana Del Rey has a song about that very same thing. Peg Whistle. And because of her very specific, like old Hollywood style, it's very haunting, very nice. I'm not going to go as far as say like I'm a fan of fucking whatever artist I just said. I can't remember, but it's a really cool song. Lana Del Rey, sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, so like that song sort of defined the time period, and then from there it sort of planted a seed that I was like, this is the time period that I want to write about. What do I want to say? And then from there I defined what I wanted to say and drew parallels between then and now.
That's too much information.
Agreed, I mean. Oh.
I'm just looking at my notes.
Oh, okay.
So at what point does like when like Tim and Luke go like, okay, we've demoed the stuff,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
we're sort of ready to say, okay, we're going to explore this set. And it likely gets cut down a little bit from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
As things, okay, this didn't really work and it was good to try, but whatever. At what point do you turn over like the tracks to Cage to start like thinking about the melody and the lyrics?
Well, Cage, she has penned some lyrics for sure. She actually has, but she couldn't. She couldn't sing a song to save her life. She accidentally sings in harmony all the time for no reason.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, which is actually, I think, quite skilled. But yeah,
Doesn't she have a musical family though?
Yeah, she does. Her sister's a fucking awesome singer. I think her brother is incredible at karaoke.
Yeah. So I think this is all just shame on
Maybe
your
she's
part.
just
She's just
untrained.
so good. She's just so good that you can't accept how good she is. And so
That
you're
could
like,
be
yeah,
it.
she can't carry a tune in a brown paper bag.
She doesn't even have a brown paper bag.
I've been trying to convince Jenny that she can sing
Yeah.
because she'll sing stuff. And she's actually like not tone deaf. Like she'll
Now,
like just sing little ditties. And I'm like, you're not tone deaf. And she's like, oh my God, I can't sing at all. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I'm like, but you're like hitting the notes in the right order and doing there's like with a little practice, you could be a good singer. And she's like, no, I'm terrible.
I just want everybody to know that Jenny is Fritzy's wife. She's wonderful. She's itsy bitsy. She's about this big. She lives in Fritzy's pocket. And he attained her amongst the frost giants, as you know, the
Yes.
frost giants in Albania.
Yes.
And
She's my forest wife.
very similar to Pee Wee's Big Top, Chris Christopherson in Pee Wee's Big Top. I think that's where she got her inspiration for her existence. But she's wonderful. I just wanted to say, just so everybody knows exactly who Jenny is.
There was a tweet on Twitter
Yes?
about episode 1.
Oh.
Somebody replied to your tweet and said, about time, looking forward to it. Who the fuck is Fritzy?
Yeah. Well, obviously at that point they hadn't listened because I explained quite thoroughly that you're a handsome, mustachioed Albanian boy.
Yeah.
That was stood at 7'5"
Yeah.
amongst the frost giants of Albania
Yeah.
with your little tiny wife in your pocket.
Yep. I carry her around everywhere I go.
Yeah. And you lock her in a little cupboard sometimes, and when you turn the key a specific way, she turns to plastic.
That's correct.
A little plastic toy.
Yes. Oh, also, my permanent residence is in a trunk in your garage. If we follow the mythology of all the stuff that has come before, I currently live in a trunk in your garage.
We call it the tickle trunk because there is a spot where Fritzy can stick his nose and his mustache out, and if you want a good tickle on your underneath, you can go up and just place yourself upon the tickle trunk.
It's like a reverse glory hole. Put his mouth through the hole.
There's a whole bunch of Canadians just like mad at me for bastardizing the majesty that is Mr. Dressup's tickle trunk in this moment. Which is just like a part of every like 70s and 80s child's upbringing. I've got good news for Canada. Real good news for Canada.
Yeah.
Zellers is coming back.
I saw that.
It's coming back. You saw that?
I did. I saw that Zellers is coming back, and I went, what the fuck is Zellers?
What the fuck is Zellers?
And then I saw that when Zellers went out of business the first time, they got all bought up by Target.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
so,
Target was here for a minute. It sucked.
So, yeah. So, I assume it's similar.
Yeah, it's just like a classic department store that we used to have here, and like they had a restaurant in there that would serve you like roast beef sandwich with peas on it, gravy smothered all in it. And there'd be so many fucking old people in there just hacking darts, just going, just like you, just smoking all over babies and stuff.
Oh,
like
man.
that was, maybe that was Kmart actually.
I miss, like, as a non-smoker, I've never been a smoker.
Yeah.
I honestly miss, like, people just smoking everywhere.
Yeah.
I really do.
Sick.
I really do. Like there was this restaurant in town where I live that back in the old days, you could smoke in restaurants and stuff, and you go in there, and it was just like there was like a good 3 to 4 feet of just smoke hanging from the ceiling. Like, so the ceiling was just low. You were walking in there, and the ceiling is this high because the smoke is 3 foot thick. And it was great. The atmosphere was great. You go in there now, and you're like, this feels weird.
Yeah. We had with the town that I live in, Whitby, has more donuts per capita than like any donut places per capita than anywhere else in the world. And it doesn't matter whether that's the truth or a lie, but I think it's the truth in my head, in my heart. But they used to have those glass segments in the donut places where, it's the smoking section and whatever. Then you could buy a big bag of day-old donuts.
Yeah.
Sorry, as soon as the words day-old donuts came out of my mouth, I realized how Canadian they were making me. But they would taste like fucking darts, man. They would taste like cigarettes. Yeah. My old man would come home, he'd be like, got a bag of day-olds, fucking toss them in the microwave for 10 seconds and they're good to go. Right? You fucking toss them in. And like, they just taste like fucking ciggies, right? But god damn it, they were good.
Like, going to a Denny's or a Ram's Horn or whatever at
3
a.m. after a show it's different when it's not full of smoke. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not a smoker or a coffee drinker, but I spent a lot of time in a Denny's at 3 a.m. with people just drinking coffee and smoking. Like, that was the whole point. Nobody ate any food. Everybody just piled into a booth and smoked cigarettes and drank coffee.
I don't think we did that in Canada.
No? That wasn't a thing?
Be wrong. I didn't really do it. We didn't really have Denny's. We do now, but
Yeah. Do you have Ram's Horn?
Listen, if I hear you say Ram's Horn again, I'm going to fucking lose it.
Why?
I've never heard of Ram's Horn in my life.
Ram's Horn. It's like a diner. It's a diner chain called the Ram's Horn.
It sounds horny as hell.
It is. Believe me, it is. If you ever are looking for a place to like find a lady to hook up with, 3 a.m. waitress on a Thursday night at the Ram's Horn. Those are the ladies you want.
You're describing something that is so despicable to me. I'm just kidding. I've never heard of Ram's Horn. I hope to never experience one.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Now that you can't smoke in them, it doesn't have the same vibe.
The smoky old Ram's Horn.
Yep. They're like, those 24... You don't have like 24-hour breakfast places like Sherry's or...
We got a place called Smitty's. I don't think they do 24 hours. And I don't think they're even in Ontario, maybe Northern Ontario. We got a place called... nope, I think it's just Smitty's.
Oh. That's a shame.
They also make furniture. Only... There's another Smitty's. It's a different Smitty's. But they make furniture.
I want it to be the same. Like, here's your runny eggs and also a bedside table.
I know. I want it to be the same too, but it's not.
That sucks.
But so let's talk about the interview we did with HK. Let's throw to the interview.
Should we?
What we're going to do is we're going to throw to the interview with HK. Then we're going to come back. We're going to give each other presents.
Yeah.
And then we're going to fucking...
well, so nobody is even going to know that we're doing that we did the interview already.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I was wearing a lot more clothing when we did the interview, and then I got hot.
Or it's very cold right there right now, and you put on a shirt.
That's true. And I wanted to show off my Selena t-shirt.
Yeah. It's a good t-shirt.
I know.
You are the owner of many great t-shirts.
I love t-shirts. I love silly t-shirts. I love cool t-shirts. I love the song Bitty Bitty Bum Bum, and it is my favorite solo in any guitar song ever recorded. Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. But so this is the interview with HK. We did it. It's pretty fucking sick. You're going to love it so much. He's so sexy. He's so horny. And he's playing drums for us in Australia. Okay, first of all, let me say our interview is brought to you today by your index finger. Lube it up, stick it directly up your own fucking ass. Our guest today is known for many great achievements. Some people know him as HK, Juno Award-winning drummer of Mandroid Echo Star. Others know him as HK, the short-lived final drummer for The Kindred. Yet some only know him as HK, brother of his sister HK. Most likely you know him as HK, darling of the silver screen. But soon every single citizen of Australia will know him as current touring drummer of Protest the Hero, Matthew Barnaby Francis Hunter Killer Drone. Welcome to the podcast, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. I'm better now. It's glad to be here. It's glad to be here. Being me.
It's glad to be here.
It's glad to be here. I'm just so flustered after that. After that big introduction. It was fantastic and accurate across the board.
Thank you. My heart is still racing, actually.
How long did you rehearse that introduction?
A couple times, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
a couple times.
That's what I figured.
So, HK, one thing I didn't mention in the intro is that you work at Sheet Happens. You're there right now. One might say that Sheet Happens doesn't work if you're not there.
That's
a question.
Correct.
You work with a lot of different fucking bands. And my big question is, what band are you willing to shit talk on this podcast for the purpose of generating interest in growing this podcast?
Oh, man. The honest truth of it is that there are some that I would just love nothing more than to just absolutely blast right. Because I truly feel terrible feelings about certain bands. However,
you can't.
I'll probably get fired if I do that. I mean, I won't get fired because they can't fire me because I quit. But no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, regardless of you can't say it. I knew you couldn't say it when I asked the question, but I just had it in my head that we're going to edit it down to me asking the question and you saying the honest truth of it is, and then you cut it off and you slap it on TikTok and you go tune in for the rest on the fucking podcast.
I mean, the honest truth of it is, if you want to know the band that has previously and is currently causing me the most stress to keep this all very on brand, it's Protest the Hero. It's true for all of us.
It's a safe answer, and it's the right answer.
It's safe, it's right, it's the truth. I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, you were born in Australia?
Nope.
You were living in Australia for a minute when you were younger?
Yes, true.
Now, is it safe to say that you agreed to these shows with Protest the Hero entirely for the purpose of returning to your motherland and speaking your mother tongue amongst your people?
In no small part was that piece of the puzzle. But well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Free ticket to Australia.
You just wanted to be able to say cunt without people looking at you funny. That's it.
Yeah, that's a benefit. I can't pretend that that's not part of the equation for me. It's I want to go home. I want to help my buds out because they need a drummer. And also, it is tradition that Michael or Rody leaves a band and then I fill in for him on tour.
That's very true. That is exactly what you did the last time, isn't it?
That's
with
right.
The Kindred.
Two for two.
Now,
it's just
was that
the nature of
the Kindred's very last tour?
It was their last tour of any substance, I might say. It was a good one. It was great. They did another tiny little rip after, in which they all became very depressed and decided not to be a band anymore. So, yeah, let's call it the last tour.
So one might actually call you the Widowmaker.
Yeah, planning on doing the same thing to you guys.
You come into Mike Arati's former bands, and you end them.
Yeah.
And this is all for the purpose of driving Mandroid EchoSAR sales.
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew it.
100%.
You're a cooler.
Going to Australia, Mandroid streams, both very important and high up on the list for me when making this decision. Yeah, and gonna give you the sweet kiss of death out there, and that'll be it.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
So if this tour was anywhere else,
as long as I'm touring with you, you're safe. But as soon as you let me go, you realize that life's just not what it used to be, and then it's over.
That's pretty good.
It's not my fault. It's not. I just have that effect when I leave things and people.
So if we were touring anywhere else in the world, the answer would have probably not been yes.
I mean, do you want the real answer or the hilarious answer? Because they both know. But
even if we were going to, say, the Ukraine to take up arms against Russia, you heard it, Pretty? He's pro-Russia!
Okay, well, that concludes the interview portion of the podcast. I was going to say, if they had said they were going to Austria to tour, you would have gone, right? Because Austria and Australia, same thing.
Exactly. They have most of the same letters, and that's good enough for me, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, getting back into some real life shit, you've been practicing with Timmy, yeah?
Been practicing with Scoot. We've done a couple.
How's that going?
Great. I love it. It's been really nice. It was a lot of pressure off after we did it. You're just like learning songs, doing it all in a vacuum, and like it's kind of not totally real. And once it becomes a little more real, you kind of wrap your head around like it's bridging the gap between, just learning the songs and actually playing them on stage. It seems really daunting before you actually do it with anyone else. But once you kind of get it going once you edge towards the live setting, it becomes more comfortable.
I've heard that edging can make you much more comfortable.
Yeah. Edging with Timmy is being comfortable. Yeah. I'm hoping to complete it. Complete things in Australia.
Oh,
yeah, get with all of you. It's gonna be nice.
Poor Australians.
They don't know what they're in for.
They're going to experience flooding. They're not used to that.
They think they know. They think they know flooding. But they don't know what's coming for them.
If I were confident enough to sing, I would sing White Wave.
I don't know it.
It's
White Wave?
Yeah.
Oh, like from one of our songs?
Yes.
Come rushing toward me, white wave.
Yeah, thank you, Rody.
It's a fucking big cum wave.
In the aftermath. Right?
HK, have you ever thought that HK maybe stands for huge come? Come with the K, like come and go. You know?
Come with a K, yeah.
Yeah.
Huge,
Huge come. Hugs and kisses.
some days it means that. Some days it means other things, but it's meant that for certain people at certain times.
I think about different things that HK could mean all the time. I don't know why. It's what I bought that shirt in Hong Kong that just said "I heart HK," and I was like, it could mean anything now. It doesn't matter.
It's true. It's great.
HK.
No, I really like that. I have like built-in merch in the world. You know.
Oh fuck yeah!
just by way of having those initials and having people refer to me as such. They're like, I had to do nothing. There are people out there with I Heart HK shirts. The world over.
I've known you for a long time, and honestly, every time I see what the HK actually stands for, I kind of like erase it from my mind immediately. Like I don't really know anymore. I don't think I ever really knew. You know, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I want the mystery. Yeah.
But we don't allow that on this podcast, Rody. We have to know. So I'm gonna ask you a series of questions real quick.
Okay.
What is your full name? What is your home address? What is your driver's license number? And what is the PIN number to your ATM card?
First answer, Matthew Francis Barnaby Jody. Is that correct?
That is what I said. Yeah.
Hong Kong. Matthew Francis Barnaby, Hong Kong.
Got it.
God, it's a beautiful name.
To the rest, like 6, 7, 29, 32.
Got it.
Carlisle Avenue.
Okay.
That's it.
Great.
Yeah,
okay. Well,
home address, PIN, everything.
Okay.
Height, weight. It's all in there.
Okay, good. So just keep an eye on your bank accounts and your credit score, because those will be impacted. Because this is the show where everyone gets doxxed.
That's true, actually.
Did you get doxxed? But I'm the first person. Oh, but you got doxxed.
Fritzy and I did a co-stream. His real name's not Fritzy, and I immediately called him by his real name. We're trying to keep it hush-hush. We're trying to give a little mystery to the pod here.
Like,
gotcha.
In the context of him explaining how we're not saying people's real names, and then immediately in that conversation called me by my real name just because. I mean, it was just brilliant.
I love it. What's your real name, Fritzy?
Oh, it's Nick.
Brian.
Gary.
Yeah, people. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That's funny.
It's it.
But so, Fritzy, do you have any questions for
well, I do have one. Are those your drums?
All my questions were jokes.
These are. They're the drums that I've had since last July. They're from Apex. This is actually the kit that was on the June tour, Jody, that Michael was playing.
I thought they looked familiar.
Yeah, so he had these, and he dropped them off somewhere, or Scoop dropped them off at Long McQuaid. And I needed to get a kit for recording some Android songs. So I went to the same Long McQuaid. It was like, I'm a Apex artist. Can I have a kit? And they're like, yeah, take this one. And I saw it. I was like, that's the kit that I was just working on. Exact same one, same skins, everything.
Those Apex motherfuckers. They're too good. They're too nice.
They knew. Yeah. So I've just had this sitting in the Sheet Happens office for like 6 months now. And then they call me and were like, hey, so like you gotta bring this back soon. I'm like, cool, can I just have it for another like 3 months? They're like, yeah, fine. It's happened like 3 times so far.
Long McQuaid's pretty sweet too, then I guess.
They're nice. I like them.
I have a follow-up question. Would you rather play my like $200 Roland E drum kit instead?
Absolutely.
On tour?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, cool.
It would.
Cool.
It's a
I'll
real
box
piece of
it up.
garbage.
I'll box it up and put it in a watertight bag for your boat ride.
That's true. We are
Boat
saving a couple
ride.
bucks and taking the boat.
Absolutely.
We got to
love
leave
it.
last month, by the way.
Mm,
There you go.
perfect. I'm there. I'll see
Are
you
you-
at the port or whatever.
Are you ready for
dock.
the lightning round?
Quite
It's
possibly
something that
not.
we
but-
invented here, and nobody has ever, in the history of questions being asked in rapid succession, called lightning round before. So Fritzy and I are going to go back and forth. We're going to each
Okay.
ask you a question. And we want you to be as zippy as possible, and there are right answers. It is fill in the blank format, I believe. Fritzy, yours are fill in the blank as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to just count on my fingers how many you get right.
It's like, what are we
That's
talking?
we're gonna
Like
keep
math,
score. Yes.
general sciences.
Opinion based.
Okay.
Mostly opinion based.
Opinion based math.
Okay. And question 1. The people of Australia are all blank.
Cool. With me.
What's that?
Cool.
Oh,
They're all cool.
No. That's incorrect. Descendants of criminals.
Sorry.
Uh,
yeah. I actually, funny story. I have a famous great something uncle who is in fact a criminal.
You proved
I
it.
have a book about the crimes that he did. You should. Okay, I want you to see a picture of him. His name is
I'd want to see a
Moondyne
picture
Joe.
of him.
There's one photo
What's
of him, and he's the most. There's one photo of him. He's the most horrifying person I've ever seen in my entire life. He's my great uncle. It's MOON.
MOON, Moon.
Moon, like the moon. DYNE. That's all one word.
Moondyne Joe?
Moondyne Joe. That's the guy.
It came right up. Holy moly! Holy matrimony! This is a terrifying person.
I know. Pretty horrific, isn't it?
There's some people dressed up as him.
Really?
Why is he carrying a hatchet?
Because he's a criminal. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I got to say the lightning round is going very quick. It's zipping by, isn't it?
But like lightning, it's very powerful.
All right.
True.
Here we go. Question 2. One interesting thing about me that no one knows is...
About me?
Yeah.
Fuck. I have a famous great uncle who's a criminal in Australia.
Incorrect.
That's incorrect.
The correct answer is I am not potty trained. I can't read an analog clock, and I never learned to tie my shoes. That's one interesting thing about you.
One interesting thing about you was those 3 things.
If I could read
next
and
question.
go to the washroom, I'd probably know that about myself.
The next question is, the opportunity to play drums and protest the hero means blank to me.
Precious little.
That's wrong. The correct answer was everything. Everything.
Yeah.
You're not
See,
doing
I
great
can't read
so far.
again. I can't read. I can't read a clock. That's what it is.
All right. Where do hamburgers come from?
Hamburger store. McDonald's.
Incorrect. Pigs.
Pigs. That's
That's why they're called hamburgers. Correct.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Gotcha.
The biggest crime I ever committed was...
Next.
That's actually very close to the correct answer. It was plead the Canadian Fifth, which is freedom of assembly.
Is it really?
It's something like that. Yeah, I mean, we don't have Fifth Amendment. We have something similar that sort of represents it.
Yeah.
And finally, How can you tell the difference between boy dogs and girl dogs, boy cats and girl cats?
Penises and vaginas.
You think?
No.
Yeah.
The correct answer is all dogs
answer.
are boys and all cats are girls.
That's true.
God. Yeah.
Now, for
you're
my
right.
final question, I have the biggest asshole by name that I have ever worked with at Sheet Happens is. There is a correct answer.
It's Luke Hoskin.
That's right.
Yeah.
He did it. He did
Nailed it.
Yeah, you got one.
Nailed
Well,
it.
you got two,
The only
kind
one
of.
that mattered.
Yeah. I mean, we've never interviewed anyone or lightning round anyone before, so you are the reigning champion at 2.
Fantastic. That's pretty good. I only got 2 points.
Yeah. They were pretty specific.
Pretty specific answers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I don't know, Fritzy. You got any more questions?
No.
I don't want to hold you up all night.
I'm done. I don't want to know any more about this person that I just met. I don't.
Fantastic.
That's it.
There's nothing more to learn.
If I
might be. What?
If I never see you again, HK, I will die knowing that I know everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
That could be
You're right
true.
about that. You're right about that. Middle name's Barnaby. I'm playing drums for Protest the Hero in Australia in about a week. For about a week. It's going to be good.
It's going to be tight. Can't wait. Thanks for doing this, H.
Hey, anytime.
Hey, you want to say what Mandroid are doing?
Yeah. Plug Mandroid.
You don't want to plug Mandroid?
Oh,
no one's listening to this anyway. All right.
What did you think of the interview with HK?
Oh, what did I think?
Well, you were there.
I was there. I thought it was sick. I love HK so much. Like, honestly, Mike Rody said to me one time, and he was like, HK will like cure your anxiety. Like, he'll just like level you out. Just having him around is like, he's so chill. It makes you feel chill. And it's absolutely true. I fucking love HK. He's the best.
Well, that's great. You know, people should leave comments or send us comments.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
A lot of people did actually have questions. Should we address some of them?
Sure, why not? And then we'll do gifts.
We have a gift for one another.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up YouTube comments right now. Maybe I'll do a better job next time of fucking having them prepared. Okay. Zorlock says, great first episode, guys. I love it. Have a couple questions. They're thick questions. So feel free to spread them. My word.
Wow.
Friend of mine showed me Kazai when I was a teen, and it helped me form my tastes and how I approach my own music to this very day. What were some of the albums and bands that influenced PTH in the early days of the band? Specifically, Kazaya, I would say we were listening to a lot of... Yeah, we had been listening to Propaganda, Strung Out, Avenged Sevenfold, City of Evil was fucking huge for us. When we were in the studio for Kazile, we tried to like mimic some of their production tricks. Like there's a lot of like octave vocals that we attempted to do. We were also listening to fucking Symphony X. Symphony X. That might have come in a little more with the Fortress, and I started doing a lot more like Russell impersonations. Next question, he said, Zorlock still said, I'm in a semi-professional metal band going into recording our sophomore release. We've reached a decent regional following and continue to grow and learn as we go. Knowing what you know now from being a band for so long, is there any advice you'd give yourselves going into your second record? No! Our second record fucking ripped, man.
Is there any advice you would give yourselves going into your third record?
Yeah, make it more like the second one. Everybody liked the fucking second one better. People get bummed on me when I rip too hard on fucking Scurrilous. And it's like, fuck, man. I don't know, okay? I like them all.
Yeah. You like it. Whatever anybody else thinks, like, okay. I mean, I get it. Like, oh, wait, but that's my livelihood. But still, like, it's good. Scurrilous is a good record.
Well, thanks, Fritz.
If Fortress didn't exist, right? If people were like,
Scurrilous would be better.
No, but people wouldn't be like, I don't think people would be so hard on Scurrilous. You know what I mean? Like, I think if they weren't trying to compare it to Fortress and just listening to it for its own merit and value, and people would be way more positive about it, I think, because I think it's a really solid record.
Well, I appreciate that. Lastly, the same person says, "What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?"
Sherbet.
Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. I wish I could eat ice cream.
He's eating sorbet.
I would have so much fun eating ice cream if I could, but I can't. So I'm not going to dignify with that response.
You and me both, brother.
This person said, "Love the first episode. Buff Circer. The part about Brian Wilson was amazing." That's not a question.
Part about Brian Wilson?
I honestly don't know.
Did we talk about the Beach Boys?
I thought Brian Wilson was the lead singer of AC/DC.
Oh, Brian Johnson. Brian Wilson is the dude from the Beach Boys.
It says Brian Johnson. Did I say Wilson?
Yeah.
Wow.
Either that or I heard you say Brian Wilson, but you actually said Brian Johnson, which is probably the case. Because I love Brian Wilson.
Yeah, no, me too. I think.
We'll talk about that on a future episode. We'll talk about the Beach Boys.
I'll talk about the Beach Boys, yeah, because they're kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, real weird.
Let's see. I'm looking for stuff that's not just complimentary. I do want to say thank you to everyone that listened to it. Like, I really appreciate fucking people digging it and shit like that. So
yeah, within like 20 hours of us announcing, like on social media, like, hey, this is out there, we had just from the hosting site, not even listens on like iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever, 250 downloads.
Oh, that's all right, man.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, this guy says Fritzy sounds like Brian Posehn.
I'll take that. I like Brian Posehn.
He's funny as shit.
Yeah, he is.
And metal as fuck. I mean, that's all I really see that are questions.
Okay, that's fine.
So let's throw to HK.
We already threw to HK. We're back.
Fuck, are we back from throwing to HK? That was a strong beer.
Yeah.
Just a warm beer.
Yeah,
let's
we have to do gifts.
Segment.
Yeah.
Let's do our presents. And then let's throw to HK.
I'm really excited for HK.
Yeah, me too. Horny as hell.
No idea. No idea who he is.
Oh, he's the best.
Never met him. Don't know anything about him.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to learn.
He does a lot of the stuff that everybody loves about Sheet Happens. Woo-hoo.
Oh,
I got serious. You were joking about throwing HK. All right, up next we got HK.
No, we already did that. Does he put these in there? Is he the reason why I get these?
Oh, he slips those little picks in your sack. For sure he does.
Because these are my favorite.
Yeah, they're good ones.
It doesn't have the logo on anymore because I get stuck on a guitar picks all the time, and I've eaten the logo off of the guitar pick. But
what about your night fingers?
Oh,
Fritzy, I'm going to send you my present to you.
Okay, I sent you my present via text message, so you should have it.
Okay, that's exactly. The title of mine is going to just absolutely ruin it. So I'm going to listen to yours before I press enter.
Okay.
Skinnamarink-a-dinky-dink-a-stinka-dink-a-doo. There once was a monkey who ate up all your poo, and then he pooped your poop out and threw that poop at you. Skinnamarink-a-dinky-dink-a-skiddamarink-a-doo.
Now you're singing Skinnamarink Dinky Dink, which is also a piece of Canadian nostalgia. Sharon Lois and Bram have that copyright, and you monster. You monster. How dare you parody a legendary.
It was in my head. It was just in my head, and I was just like, voice note, and then I just voice noted it on my phone and sent it to you. So
it was beautiful. Now mine's
it's
about
a monkey
longer.
who eats all of your poops, and then poops your poops, and then throws your poops at you.
Can I just say that if we're going to compare these gifts in any way, yours is 99 kilobytes and mine is 121 kilobytes. So
mine was 15 seconds and yours is 8 seconds.
Yeah, well, the production on mine might blow your friggin' socks off.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved your present. I loved it.
How big is your dick? I'm bringing that it's huge.
What is that? Did you actually record? Did you record guitars for that?
Yeah. I fucking programmed drums. I did bass, and there's a harmony on the vocal.
Fuck.
And it goes into what your fucking
dad was talking about earlier.
What your dad was talking about, kicking down the door and saying we got big dinks. Woo! Happy birthday to you. And that's going to do it for us here at Podcast The Hero. Subscribe to us on fucking YouTube or fucking Spotify or fucking Apple Music. Or not on Google things, I don't think.
It's on
Google. Who knows? Maybe try it.
It's on Apple, too.
It is on Google.
It's on
all
Amazon.
Your goddamn podcast streamers.
Yeah.
Subscribe to that fucking thing. See you in hell, piece of shit.